Hey everybody, it's Carl Brown from GuitarLessons365.com, and this is part 2 in our funk guitar rhythm series. In this lesson, we're going to start adding, before we just did kind of 1 or 2 of the rhythms in the 16th note, in the whole 16th note phrase of the division of 4 in each beat of 4 16th notes. We were just playing 2 and we were doing all the combinations. Now we're going to do 3 of the 16th notes for each beat. And we're going to concentrate on 4 rhythms for that. And then we're going to do a little bit of single note stuff like I'm sure you've seen all over the place in funk, and just kind of talk about how they're doing it and the muting and everything. So let's get right to it. The first exercise here, we're going to be using these 2 exercise for the rhythms, the chord rhythms. We're going to be using these 2 chords, which you should be following along in the tablature, which you'll see the tablature right in the description of the video, the link to the tab. And we have this chord, 7th fret on the 4th string, 1st fret on the, the 1st finger at the 5th fret on the 3rd string, and then the pinky at the 8th fret of the 2nd. And then just move that pinky back 1 fret for the 2nd chord. Kind of a nice funk chords. So here we go. Let's start the first rhythm here. What we're going to do is we're going to play the first group of the first 3 16th notes in the group of 4. So it's going to be like this: 1, 2, 3, and that 4th is going to be just a muted upstroke. So you're going to start muting, and like we did in previous exercises, on the 2nd beat of the measure, we're going to have a 4-beat measure here. You're just going to do straight 16th muted 16th notes, and then you're going to do the pattern that we did on the first beat again, which means the first 3 16th notes are accented with a chord, 4th one's muted, and then the last beat of the measure, all 4 16th notes are muted. So we have so that was beat 1, 2, 3, 4. All of them divided, playing all the 16th notes, and anytime you're not playing the chord, you're playing the strings muted. All right, so try to get that up to speed. You can probably notice that you want to keep a very loose wrist down here. Just swing it and make sure you don't stop that 16th note pattern. Always keep that rhythm going. That's kind of your metronome, and it keeps the groove going. All right, this next one's a really good funk groove, and what it's going to be is the 16th notes, and of the 4 16th notes, you're going to be playing the 1st, the 2nd, and the 4th. So you're going to skip that 3rd one, and here's what it sounds like slow. I'll do it again. So you see that one in the middle, the 3rd one there, I just hit, it was muted, and then I came back and grabbed on the 4th 16th note, I grabbed the chord. So we have, and now on the 2nd beat, once again, we're going to do straight 16th note muted, and then back to the chord, the same rhythm on the 3rd beat. All right, so the whole measure, so let's speed that up. Just 1 chord per measure. Now, once again, you can do this with any chords that you feel fit nicely into the kind of funk style, whatever you want. All right, the 3rd exercise is going to be playing the 16th on the first 16th note and the 3rd and 4th. So this time we're skipping the 2nd instead of skipping the 3rd like we did in the previous exercise. So that's going to sound like this. Just keep that 16th note feel going in the right hand at all times, whether they're muted or not, whether the chord is hit or not. All right, and the last one of these chord exercises we're doing, you're going to be now, instead of, you're just going to miss the first 16th note, and you're going to hit the second, third, and fourth one. So it's going to be this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're starting the first accent with an upstroke. All right, and then again on the second beat, straight muted 16ths. And then on the third beat, the same pattern as before. And then on the fourth beat, straight muted 16ths. So we have this. All right. Now, anybody knows from listening to any kind of punk music, it's not always chords. They like doing a lot of single note stuff and really digging into single notes, or maybe a dyad with a couple of strings there. So let's talk about how they're doing that. Now, you'll know that we're doing this sort of between all the things. That kind of really, that's, you know, obviously very prevalent in funk music. Really keeps that 16th note feel going, and the chords or the notes are accented in between those. So what you need to be able to do if you're doing a single note thing is to be able to mute all the strings around it. So say we're going to do this rhythm. Here's our next exercise here. Let's do this. Now what I'm doing there is, obviously in the first group of 4, it's straight muted 16th notes, so I have all my fingers laying across here. Now I'm going to play the 5th fret on my first finger here. And what I'm doing muting wise, because when you hit this note, you still want to be strumming all 6 strings. But you notice only one note is coming out down here, and all the other ones, it sounds really fat and big because of you're still hitting all the other strings and they're muted. So they're creating this huge percussive sound, but you're still able to get this one note out. Now, how I'm doing it, and there's a few ways that you can do this, but how I do it is I kind of, my first finger is laying on the 5th fret there on the 3rd string. And the bottom of the finger, of my first finger, is muting the 1st and 2nd strings. Okay? So this is playing, and this is muted. These two by the bottom of the first finger. Now this 4th, 5th, and 6th strings here, I just take my fingers over and I make sure they go over, not touching the 3rd string, and I let them lay just kind of on the 4th, 5th, and 6th strings. So now they're muted. 3rd string is nice and clear, and the other 2 are muted. So you can strum all 6 strings, and you're only going to hear that one note. So, and whenever you release the pressure of that first finger, now that string is muted as well too. So I just got to push my first finger down, and that's how I'm getting this, the muting to come in and out on that one finger. I just release the pressure. So then we do some of our rhythms that we've already learned from the first lesson and this lesson. This is going to be 4 beats, a full measure here, and I'm going to mute all the first 4. 16th note, so the mute on the first beat. Second beat is going to play that, you're going to let that note come in on the 3rd string and then mute the next 3. So we have this. Then we're going to do that second rhythm from what we did today, which is a really cool rhythm, and that's going to be playing the 1st, 2nd, and 4th 16th note. This is on the 3rd beat. All right, and then on the last group of 4, straight muted. All together. All right, so you can take that and you can start moving notes around. Or maybe add 2 notes here, 2nd and 3rd string to get. But everything around it is muted like that. Some people like taking their thumb across and muting with their thumb, But to me, I find it more comfortable and just more natural to have my fingers help me out a little bit. All right, you may see people use different right hand muting techniques, but the hand is swinging so much down here to keep that rhythmic feel. Most of the muting has to be done down here in the left hand, the fretting hand. All right, so I hope you guys enjoy these funk guitar lessons, and you can you know, kind of get those styles and understand how they're created and how you can apply them to chords and single notes and all the muting and the strumming that's involved in doing this. All right, so please go to GuitarLessons365.com and support the site in any way you can, and let me know what lessons you guys would like to see next. All right, thanks. Bye-bye.